Welcome to the podcast series, Irish by the Grace of God. And here's your host, Tony Gormley.
Hello everybody and welcome to the first session of Irish by the Grace of God podcast. This is really an introduction of what's to come. So firstly, my name is Tony Gormley. My friends call me, amongst other things, Tony G. So I suppose starting point really would be to explain what Irish by the Grace of God is all about. Maybe firstly, I'll maybe tell you a story of how I came about the idea. So I was at my parents' home and I was sitting at the table with my 95-year-old father and my brother Barry. Barry was visiting from New York, and he's been in New York for 30 plus years, well settled in there, obviously. But we were talking about how great it is that we have the technology now, like WhatsApp and Skype, where you can video chat every week. So my parents video chat with Barry in New York every week. But my dad happened to mention, and he's from the most northerly point of Ireland, the sea village of Moville in County Donegal. But he said that he could remember when the big ships used to arrive in to Moville on their way to the US. So there was two stops in Ireland. There was Cove and Moville, which I didn't realise. But the night before leaving, everybody used to have a thing called the US Wake in my dad's or my dad's family pub. And I was saying, what's the US Wake? So essentially what it was is that if you were leaving for the US, in all likelihood, you'd never return to Ireland again, which, you know, to me, it was very sad, you know, that something like that should occur. But so they used to always, you know, go to the pub, celebrate, cry, laugh, you know, the whole thing. That this really got me thinking that people who have left Ireland for other countries, including the USA, Australia, the UK, they must have very, very interesting stories to tell, whether they be sad, you know, uplifting, whatever. They must have stories about what made them leave. You know, why did they pick the destination that they did pick? You know, had they somebody at the destination there to pick them up, or did they just kind of go on spec? Had they jobs lined up? What did they end up doing, working as? What type of life had they? All that kind of stuff really intrigues me. So essentially that's what the podcast is about. And so really it's over to you folks now. If you're Irish and you're living abroad, and if you have an interesting story to tell, which I'm sure you have, please get in touch. We'd love to hear from you, and we can maybe have an interview, probably, you know, between 20 minutes to an hour. We've all the social media sites set up, so there's no problem getting in touch with us. We've Twitter, which is at IBTGOG. We've Facebook, which is Irish by the Grace of God. We've a YouTube channel, Irish by the Grace of God podcast. We've an Instagram, Irish by the Grace of God 2022. Our website is shows.acast.com / Irish by the Grace of God -podcast. And alternatively, you can email Tony at irishbythegraceofgod.com. So please get in contact. We'd love to hear from you, and we can get the ball rolling on this. I hope to publish an interview per week going forward. And hopefully you'll enjoy it. So tune in next week and we'll have a podcast for you. Thank you now. Bye-bye. Thanks everyone for listening to this week's episode of Irish by the Grace of God. If you like it, please share it with your friends and family, and check out our website shows.acast.com/Irish by the Grace of God -podcast. Here you'll find all our social media pages to make contact. If you know of any Irish people living abroad with an interesting tale, we'd love to hear from you. Thank you and tune in next week. Bye bye.